Hey guys, normally I will read some book before I go to bed. So now it is about 9:40. So I will read book for 20 minutes and then I will go to bed at that time. So today, let's continue reading this book, Hetty Feather. And we have reached chapter 3. So today we'll read chapter 3. So exciting. Let's see about the life story of Hetty Feather. And of course, her dear brother Jem and her brother, like her foster brother Gideon too. Let's see how this story went and also her family. Last time I read for you chapter 1 and chapter 2. It's so interesting about her life story and her very interesting family. And also, she was taken to the foundling hospital when she was a baby with Gideon, her brother. So let's get started on chapter 3 to see how the story went. Let's get started. 3. I found it sorely trying when the blissful summer holiday ended, and Jem had to spend all day long at his lessons. I didn't miss Rosie and Nat and Eliza once jot, but I missed Jem horrendously. I was left at home with Martha, who was no fun, and Sal, who was a sneaking toad, and Gideon, who was a milksop. They wouldn't play lovely games with me like my dear Jem. Mother didn't want us under her feet in the cottage, but neither did she want us toddling down a village lane and into the woods without Jem to keep an eye on us. So we were confined to the front step and our little patch of garden. If I suggested spitting in the earth and making mud pies or drawing in the dust with a stick, then Martha would have her head dejectedly, because she couldn't see well enough. If I organized a game of chase and held Martha's hand, she could run as fast as me. But then Sal would whine, because he always came last with his limpy leg. If I tried a picturing game and pretend a tall oak was a warty orange, and the grunting pig in the backyard, a mythical monster, Gideon would play on gamely, but he would wake screaming in the night. He would refuse point blank when he told to feed his pig our potato parings, and whimper to be held whenever Mother took us for a walk past the oak tree. I'd hold my breath when Mother comforted them, questioned him. Gideon did not wish to tell tales on me and get me into troubles. He would press his lips together when she asked what was ailing him, but Sal delighted in getting me into trouble and told all sorts of stories to Mother about me. And then, of course, I'd get paddled. Sometimes I decided it was worth being paddled to plaid sly Sal. I'd see him lick the jam from Martha's bread or drop a spider in Gideon's special mug of milk. I didn't tell stories on him. Where was the fun in that? But I creep on him unawares and punish him. Once I spotted him leaning right over the gate to poke the poor pig with his wooden crutch, laughing when she squealed. I darted forward and gave him a shove. Oh, how he squealed when he fell face down in the pigsty. It was so soft with smelly mud, didn't hurt his poorly leg or his other leg either. He just hurt his dignity, lying there bowling, covered in potato peelings and pig poo. I laugh and laugh and laugh. I even laughed while I was being paddled. Jem laughed too when I told him, but he said I must take care not to be so bad when I went to school. The teacher is a big cane, Hetty, and she swishes it all day. She said she hurts much more than Mother. She swishes you, Jem. She swished my friend Janet for chalking her B's and D's the wrong way around. And when I said it wasn't fair, Janet had tried to learn. She's just not very quick. Teachers wished me too and told me not to answer back. I don't like teachers. I said. I knew my B's from my D's already because Jem had taught me. But then I thought of Martha. Martha can't write any of her letters. I said, will teachers wish her? I won't let her, said Jem stoutly. But Martha didn't go to the village school when she was 5. Mother boiled up a tub of water one evening and gave Martha her own special scrub, even though she had a wash day bath on Monday. Mother gave her a special creamy mug of milk for her supper and held her on her lap while she drank it. Father gave Martha a ride on his knees. This is the way the ladies ride, he sang, jiggling her up and down while she giggled. Sal whined that it wasn't fair. He wanted a ride. Gideon said nothing, but he sucked his thumb and stared while Mother drank his milk. For once, I didn't complain. I was too little to understand, but as the tears in Mother's eyes, heard the crack in Father's voice as he sang, I knew something was wrong, though Martha herself stayed blissfully unaware. She went to sleep that night as soon as her head hit the pillow. I stayed awake, cuddling up to her, winding a lock of her brown hair round and round my finger, as if I was binding us together. Mother came and woke us very early. Is it time to get up? I asked sleepily. Not for you, Hetty, said Mother. Go back to sleep. It was still so dark I couldn't see her, but I could tell that she's been crying again. She gently coaxed Martha up and led her out of the room. I turned over into Martha's warm patch and breathed in her faint bread and butter smell, wondering why Mother had wakened her so early. I decided I should creep out of bed and go and see, but it still seemed like the middle of the night, and I was so tired. When I woke up again, the sun was shining through the window. I ran downstairs, calling out for Martha. She wasn't there. Mother wasn't here either. Rosie and Eliza were brewing the tea and stirring porridge. Where's Mother? Where's Martha? They've had to go out, said Rosie. Come and sit down like a good girl, Hetty. I didn't want to be a good girl. I wanted Mother and Martha. My heart was beating fast. Inside my chest, I was very frightened, though I didn't quite know why. I started screaming and I couldn't stop, not even when Eliza bribbled with a dab of butter and sugar. Not even when Rosie slapped my kicking legs. Jem eventually quieted me, lugging me up onto his lap and rocking me like a newborn baby, but he seemed almost as anxious as I was. Rosie and Nat and Eliza knew something we didn't. They nudged each other and wouldn't look us in the eye over our breakfast. Jem questioned them persistently. I cried, Sal sniveled, and Gideon didn't get out to the privy in time and wet all down his legs. We couldn't manage without Mother. She was always there. Always. As much a part of the cottage as the roof and the 4 walls. We were lost without her. And why has she taken Martha with her? You know where Mother's has taken her, said Jem, standing on the bench, so he was eye to eye with Rosie. Tell us. Stop persisting me, Jem. I've got more than enough to do without you. And the baby's fussing. Hetty, if you start that screaming again, I'll paddle you with Mother's ladle. Don't you dare paddle, Hetty, said Jem. She's not feeling bad. She's just fearful. She wants Mother. Well, Mother will be back presently, said Rosie. Why did she go off without saying goodbye? Why did she take Martha with her? Poor little Martha, said Rosie, suddenly softening, her lips puckered as if she was about to cry. Is Martha poorly? Jem persisted, but Rosie wouldn't answer. When Gideon had been poorly with the croup last winter, Mother had called in the doctor. He had looked grave and said Gideon might have to send to the hospital. Is Mother so poorly she had to go to the hospital? Jem asked. He lowered his voice when he said the word. Will heard the villagers talking. Hospitals were terrifying places where doctors cut you open and took out all your inside. She had to go to the hospital, that's right, said Rosie. Nat sniggered, though even he looked troubled, his eyes watering as if he was near tears. Perhaps Martha was very ill, about to die. But this was all such nonsense. I had cuddled up to Martha all night long, and she hadn't been poorly at all. I clung to Jem and he rocked me again. He didn't go to school that day. He told Rosie he was staying home to look after us little ones. Rosie tried to make him go, but she sounded half-hearted. She was glad enough to have him in charge while she scrubbed the cottage and set the cooking pot bubbling on the hearth. Jem played patiently with Sal and Gideon and me. When the two little boys had a nap after their soup, Jem took me to the forbidden squirrel house, trying his best to distract me. I was deeply touched, but it didn't work. No matter how hard I tried to picture, it stayed a grubbly hole in a tree. My mind was too full picturing Mother and Martha. Rosie had once won a Sunday school prize, a book called Little Elsa's Last Good Deed. It was a pretty book, bright blue with gold lettering, and I begged Jem to read it for me. He stumbled through the first pages until we both got tired. It was a dull story, and little Elsa was tiresomely good. She didn't seem real at all. I leafed through the whole book, looking for pictures, but they weren't exciting like the elephant and the mandarin and the parrot and the zebra. My favorite pictures in The Good Child's ABC. I only liked the last picture, with little Elsa lying in bed looking very pale and poorly, and an angel with curly hair and a shiny hat flying straight through the window to carry her up to heaven. But now I kept picturing Martha as the ailing child in some grim hospital, a doctor sewing at her stomach, an angel at one end, intent on stealing her way up to heaven, and Mother down the other end, hanging onto Martha's ankles. I sobbed the scenario to Jem, and he did his best to reassure me. Mother and Martha will come home safe and sound. You'll see, he said. In fact, I reckon they're home already, and when Mom finds out I've stayed school, she'll be right angry with me, and if you pipe up we've been to the squirrel house, we'll both get a paddling. We trailed back home. When we ran into the kitchen, there was Mother at the table, still stiff in her Sunday best, bowed and right because she was wearing her stay, though her head was bent. Mother was nowhere to be seen. Where's Mother, Mother? Jem asked. Mother, I echoed. Mother's gone, Mother said. The angels got her? I said, starting to cry again. What? No, she's not dead, Hetty, said Mother. She took a deep breath. Where are the others? Sal and Gideon having a nap? Go and get them, Jem. I might as well tell you, all of you together. But Jem, wait. What are you doing at home, young man? Rosie, why don't you make him go to school? Oh, never mind. Make me a cup of tea. I'm parched. We gathered around Mother, staring at her. I nudged up close to Jem. Gideon clasped my hand tight. Sal started sniveling. There now, you needn't look so tragic, said Mother, sipping her tea. Mother's very well. She's just not going to live with us anymore. We stared at her, baffled. Where's she gonna live, Mother? Jem asked. She's gone back to the Foundling Hospital, dearie, said Mother. You were too little to remember when she came to the family. The hospital? They'll cut her into bits, I wailed. No, Hetty, it's not that sort of hospital, my lamb. It's a lovely big home for lots of children who don't have mothers, said Mother. I remember you telling us about the hospital, said Jem. That's how it got Martha, then Sal, and now Gideon and Hetty. He put his arms around me, hugging me tightly. But why did Martha have to go back there? You're her mother now. Mother's face crumpled. I know, my dear, but I was only her foster mother. I was simply looking after Mother until she was a big enough girl to go back to the Foundling Hospital. So when will she come home to us? Jem asked. The Foundling Hospital is her home now, my dear. But Mother won't be able to manage without us. She can't see properly, and she's a little slow. She needs us to help her, Jem cried. She will find another big child to help her, said Mother. Now do stop your questioning, Jem. You're sitting the little ones. She entreated him with her eyes, while Sound, Giddy and I sniffed by her side. We're too little and stupid and stunned to work out the obvious just yet. So that is the end of chapter 3. Nice and touching, right? And next time will be chapter 4, and we will discover about Martha more. Bye!